For today's episode, it's going to be a little bit different. I want this to be more of a conversation. I want this to be more of a friend-to-friend piece of advice that you just need to hear right now. This is something for somebody that is stuck in life, right? You're struggling. Maybe it's a challenge. Maybe it's an addiction. Maybe it's with your bills and your finances. Maybe it's with your health and medications. Maybe it's with your confidence. Maybe it's with your business. Regardless, if you're struggling right now in life in any area, this conversation is for you. And this is really going to help you out. I'm going to redo this post that I made on social media. I posted this on my Instagram. I posted this on my Facebook. I even posted it on my YouTube channel, and it hits home for me personally, but I firmly believe it's going to hit home for you as well. And this is what's going to help you look at life a little bit differently to help you just get unstuck. So let me read this and then we'll talk about it. It says here, the world's #1 most underrated superpower. Without this, I'd be overweight. I'd be out of shape. I'd be full of excuses. Without this, I'd still be depressed, fearful, and weak. Without this, I might not even be here today. But because of this, I show up every single day. Because of this, I keep moving forward even when I feel like breaking. With this, I see challenges as opportunities to grow stronger. And that superpower is called faith. Faith is a muscle. When you train it, it grows stronger. And when you don't train it, you neglect it, it becomes weak. As an entrepreneur, you need faith that your vision becomes a reality. As an athlete, you need to have faith that your discipline and consistency will pay off. And as a dad, you need to have faith that your family is watching, learning, and becoming stronger because of the man you choose to be. The truth is, everybody faces storms in life. Everybody goes through hardships. But most men quit right before they break through. But with having faith, it's kind of like the pre-workout for your soul. It gives you the edge when your body wants to quit and your mind wants to give in. Faith shifts your mindset. Faith helps you look at life as, glass being half full rather than half empty. Faith helps you look at life as, hey, you're becoming the leader rather than being the victim. From weak to unshakable. Train your faith like a muscle and it will carry you through battles that most men unfortunately fall and break because of them. So I want to share that with you because I know for a fact that once again, if it's with your health, is it with your finances, is it with your relationships, is it with you're stuck. You feel like you're just a leaf floating in the wind, right? And you want to get out of it. You need to have faith. You need to know that, hey, by you continuing to put in the reps, continuing to put in the work, even though you're not seeing anything right now, it's going to eventually come your way. You will eventually, reap everything that you put down and you harvest. It's going to happen. But you need to have faith. Henry Ford said it best. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. And it's all about having that belief system. And kid you not, there are so many inspirational stories I can tell you right now. Here's literally just a handful of them just to help you see things from a different perspective, right? It all boils down to your own belief system. And once again, you, right, maybe potentially, and this is the truth that might sting and might hurt to hear, but it might be the truth. You probably got yourself stuck. If we had to put this into a health and fitness scenario, nobody forced you to eat a certain way. Nobody forced you to stay unmotivated. Nobody forced you to, not work out. Nobody forced you to do anything. You did it yourself. And maybe that's why you're overweight. Maybe that's why you're lacking the energy. Maybe that's why you're a type 2 diabetic now. Nobody forced you. So if you got yourself stuck, you can easily get yourself unstuck. But it's a mindset shift. Think about it like this, right? Just to help you inspire you, Michael Jordan, he was cut from his high school basketball team, but he believed in himself. So what did he do? He worked harder. He didn't want to be somebody that got cut. He wanted to play the game. And that work ethic led to him literally becoming the greatest of all time. Roger Bannister, the first person ever to run a 4-minute mile. Guess what? He tried and tried and tried and tried and tried and continued to fail and fail and fail and fail. Even when the doctor said that it's impossible, the human heart would explode, guess what? Hey, he continued to try. And that eventually led to him running and completing that challenge of, running a mile within 4 minutes. Now, because he broke that self-limiting belief in so many people, there's high schoolers now that are able to run that now. But think about it. He had faith. Even when he wasn't passing, even when he was continuing to fail, even when everybody said it was impossible, he had faith. He believed it was possible. And that's what led to him having success. You can look at Napoleon Hill with 3 Feet from Gold, right? That book, it's amazing in terms of or the picture, just Google it, right? 3 Feet from Gold, Napoleon Hill. You'll see it. It's just a little image. One guy is just chopping away, but he stops so soon. Right before the gold, he stops. Somebody else comes in, right? They're chopping away, and they don't stop. And they eventually reach the gold. The person threw in the towel way too soon. The person quit. If they would have had faith that, hey, the gold is on the other side, it would have kept them going. Think about also Chinese bamboo. This is one of my favorite inspirational stories, and hopefully it's the last thing that you need to hear to just wake you up a little bit. Chinese bamboo, you plant it, and it takes about 5 years before you ever see the thing even grow outside of the soil. So just imagine that for 5 years, you're going out there, you're watering it, you're making sure there's plenty of sunlight, you're taking care of the soil for 5 years, and you're not seeing anything. But after that 5th year, it grows so fast. Within a few short weeks, you literally see it growing before your own eyes. And it's strong, it's durable. Do your own research on it. It's incredible just how Chinese bamboo works and is. Why am I telling you that? Because maybe the reason why, once again, you're stuck is because you put yourself into this hole. And you continue to quit. You continue to give up. You continue to throw in the towel when you're so close to the gold. You need to have patience. You need to have faith. You need to know that, hey, if you're working out today and tomorrow and the next day, if you're tracking your macros, hitting your protein, drinking plenty of water, you're doing what you should be doing. This isn't rocket scientist, right? This isn't rocket science. You're doing what you should be doing. You need to have faith knowing that, hey, just because you didn't lose any weight at the end of the week, it doesn't matter. You will eventually lose the weight. Stop putting a time frame on it. Stop saying, I need to lose X amount of pounds. Because guess what? You're giving yourself these expectations. And I see guys fall to this all the time, especially when doing, let's say, a ketogenic diet. They're like, I'm doing keto, and I'm going to be able to stick with it, and I'm going to be able to lose all this weight. And they think, right, man, this is going to be the end all be all. I can do this. First time in my life, I can lose 50 pounds. And I just have to stop eating carbohydrates. So they feel amped up, right, in the very beginning. They feel all motivated. It's the shiny object syndrome. And they start cutting out the carbohydrates. And instantly they start losing weight. And they feel good. They feel motivated. And then sure enough, right, that shiny object syndrome isn't so shiny anymore after a couple weeks. Now all of a sudden they started going back to their, routine, their way of life all over again. Or maybe they stop losing as much weight, a few weeks later on compared to in the very beginning. And now I got them feeling a little bit upset because they're like, man, I'm not cutting, I'm not eating any bread. I'm not having any sweets, ice cream, donuts, giving up on the chips. Can't even drink, what's the point of me even doing this? I'm not losing any more weight. And they continue to go on. And then sure enough, something else happens, whether it's stress or whether it's, once again, missing out on another weigh-in, but it's whatever, them missing out on these expectations that they didn't plan for. They get upset about it and they eventually throw in the towel, they quit, they go back to old ways. And maybe that sauna dance sounds similar in your life where you've tried all these different diets. Nothing has seemed to work for you. First off, don't go back to those diets. Second, just download my free fat loss guide down below if you're watching this on YouTube. That's a game plan. That's a strategy that you could follow and you will get amazing results. That will help you out. And the reason why I can confidently say that is because that helps out thousands of busy guys, right? Lose anywhere from 20 to 50 pounds of fat all within 90 days. So if it worked for them, I'm pretty sure it could work for you too. But putting that aside, you need to have faith knowing that, okay, if I'm going to stick with this nutrition plan, if I'm going to stick with this workout routine, if I'm going to stick with, walking my body and getting basic movements, hey, eventually I'm going to lose the weight. Eventually I'm going to reach my goal. You need to have faith. You need to understand that. You know, like, to me, it's almost mind-boggling, right? Because I look at health and fitness a little bit different, and our coaching clients can agree to this because they all had this mindset shift as well by going through our coaching program. And it's these called habits. That, hey, if we do these habits, it's not just about losing weight. Like, that's a byproduct. That comes along with it. But if we do these habits like eating more protein, drinking more water, exercising, going for more walks, like, we just feel better. like putting the weight loss aside, putting the fat loss aside, putting the muscle building aside, just going off of how you feel. Like, if you knew that you were if you went for more walks, you'd have more energy, less back pain, right? You would feel better, be more positive, right? You're outside more, right? Just all around better. Why would we not do that? That's the question. Why would we not do that? And that's why it's, once again, especially on your health and fitness journey, like, you need to have faith. You need to know that, hey, if you're doing these things, you're going to get the outcome. You're going to get the results. And maybe that's, once again, a you thing where maybe you're doing something just to take shortcuts, like cut out your carbohydrates or whatever the case may be, right? This fad diet, this quick thing, right? Or work out 2 hours every single day and do all this excess cardio. Maybe you secretly know that's not going to work for you. It's not going to be, sustainable long term. And maybe that's why you don't have faith that it's actually going to work, Maybe that could be the issue. So it's like, focus on the basics, and that's going to be able to help you out. But regardless, whether it's weight loss or whether it's just you with finances, you with your relationships, you with your career, or maybe you want to start your own business, regardless, you need to have faith. Just like what I talked about in that post. So this message should just encourage you. Focus on the faith. It is just like building a muscle. Once again, I talked about that, And when you are building a muscle, right, you got to put it through progression, right? Progressive overload. You got to put it through more stress, more tension for it to actually grow effectively. If you're only doing bicep curls with 5-pound baby weights every single week, it doesn't matter if you're doing this for 30 years, your biceps are not going to become stronger anymore. It's literally called adaptation. Your body understands everything, in terms of, okay, it's these 5-pound weights. It's always 3 sets of 10. Like, there's nothing different to it. Your muscles aren't going to grow. They need to go through stress. You got to lift heavier weights. Well, it's the same thing with faith. If you want to become stronger, right, mentally, emotionally, and have that faith and work on it, make it stronger, hey, don't be the one complaining when your life starts throwing you challenges. And look at that as the workouts, right? Once again, that's where you grow stronger. That's the challenge, right? When life is throwing you curveballs, when life is throwing you obstacles, and when you have faith, you can view those challenges, those curveballs, as opportunities to actually grow better and stronger. And I really hope that message was loud and clear from today's episode. And I hope you guys got some value. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below letting me know, like, what is when it comes to you, right? Specifically, where do you feel like you need more help with? Maybe that is, if we had to just summarize this as your health and fitness journey and kept it simple. Do you need more help with, let's just say, becoming mentally stronger? Do you need more help with, let's just say, becoming physically stronger? Maybe it's the workouts. Do you need more help with maybe something with nutrition? Or maybe it's another form of accountability, or maybe it's something with your mind. I don't know. The reason I ask is because I love making new content. I love making just things to provide more value and help out those. So by you letting me know in the comment section down below, where is it that you're struggling at? Where is it that you would like more guidance, more help with? By all means, I want to make a special video all about that, just to kind of help out. So once again, you can let me know in the comment section down below.